If you imagine that everybody has been participating in a giant, I don't know what it's called. I have no clue what it's called. But everyone is participating in it. Some sort of make-believe thing. If you've flushed your system out, for the most part, if you've gotten clean within, then there isn't a pull anymore to have you ever seen pictures of those giant wheel things? You know, it would be in the middle of a room and it would be connected to a big pole, and there's a giant wheel, and they'd have like giant men in there pushing it around, like turning it around. Or you could attach horses to it, and that wheel turns. It's attached to a generator or something, or it's attached to some sort of energy producing device. That's the reason why the society does not need to make any sense whatsoever. That's why. Just imagine that you're on that wheel in the middle of the room. You're hooked to it. The wheel will produce energy if it gets turned, and actually it will produce energy if it gets turned forwards or backwards. So whatever type of enticement the owner of the wheel puts out, doesn't matter what type they put out. You know, they want to optimize your energy output. So they don't want to just put out, you know, super cool trinkets all at once, because you'll get too tired. Then you won't be able to turn the wheel tomorrow. So that they probably want to moderate the trinket offering. But the point is that on even the subtle energetic farming levels, it still happens. Because the base state of consciousness doesn't need anything. And it's its own. The free energy thing is the most ridiculous. The base consciousness is its own source, its own flame, doesn't need anything. That's why the system is such a joke, because it had to be created. Like inefficiencies had to be literally made. They had to be created. They had to be thought up, creatively thought up. So even on the more obvious levels of, say, participating in a workforce, it still does not need, it doesn't need to be doing anything. You know, you need to slap some shitty ideals on top of it, you know, put on the rose-colored glasses, and simply go and do what they tell you to every day, and then you'll get permission to go eat and have a house in the form of Queen's money. But it doesn't matter what direction you push the wheel, and it doesn't matter how fast you turn the wheel, because everybody's on it. Like, everyone here is on that wheel in some way, shape, or form. And everybody's pushing it. And you push it. How do you push it? You push it by projecting. You push it by extending your mind out and doing something. That's how you push it. That's the whole wheel of life. That's, that's Maya. And the opposite of pushing the wheel, or not the opposite, but that which is not pushing the wheel, is staying present, which is simply being aware. And you are not actively participating in the act of loosh farming at that point. The moment at which you become more present than not present is when you start to retain your own power rather than feeding it out to unknown entities and unknown farming units. The existence itself, even if it's a simulation within a simulation, however many levels out, if you learn how to stay present, then it's endlessly fascinating. You can't find the end of it. It's impossible. Oh. I'm gonna make this person mad. You can't find the end of it. Once you stop parsing your day up into mental pieces, like, this is morning time, this is evening time, this is 2 o'clock time, this is 3 o'clock time, this is wedding time, this is dying time, this is whatever time. Once you stop dicing your days up and you realize that it's none of that is existing whatsoever at all, it's all just a giant joke, right? Or something that provides a bit of format to your life. But if you can drop that, then your moment is endless, and you can't ever truly, probably, you haven't ever started exploring it in the first place. Because if you've been living your whole life in this artificially imposed projection system that keeps your mind 5 to 10 minutes out, to 20 minutes out, to tomorrow out, to the next day out, to next week out, to retirement out, it has your mind out from the present incrementally, and all bases are covered, which means you've never explored your own existence. Not if you've been living in that. You can't find an end to it, and you can't find the start to it, and that's what freaks people out when they try doing it, because mind can't make head nor tails of it. Once your all that makes you up, of which a part is mind, sees what the existence is, then it sees it as endless and flawless. Every moment. It's impossible to explore it all. Even just having the various senses of your body combined with your mind, combined with emotion, combined with sounds. All of the ways those can combine, and you can play with it every second of your life if you just did that. It's nourishing enough. You can't find the start, you can't find the end. So it becomes a new language. You speak your life into being with a new, different sort of language. Because your language shapes your movements. It shapes your internal possibility spectrum. Of course, staying in the silence is keeping everything as open as it can be, but there isn't a problem with using language. There isn't a problem with, dicing it up to an extent, but the more you compartmentalize, the more stuck you are. And freedom is always right with you. It's always is you. Right now, in your little present moment bubble, in your in your simulation within a simulation, within worlds, however many layers deep and turtles deep and all of this. How many rabbit holes have you come through to get to this spot? Doesn't matter. Your freedom's always right with you, right now. And whole worldviews, can just be, they can just poof, vanish in a second, because they're nothing. The most complex worldview anybody has ever come up with is just puffs away. Just dissolves, vanishes. Once you access that which is other than the projection system, and the projection system is very good. Nobody can deny its power. It has everybody suckered in right now. Most. But once you're out, you're out. And then simple things like everything becomes exquisite, and it's endless every moment. No beginning, no end, no problems.